Okay. And can you state your name
Kristen Beals,
and your job title?
Associate Professor of Psychology.
Okay. And are you the advisor of the Peer Mentor program?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the program exactly?
So the Peer Mentor program, it's existed for many, many years, and it's a program designed to bring together mostly juniors and seniors who are interested in mentoring younger students, or not so younger students, but students newer in the process.
Right.
The peer mentors attempt to do a number of things. We provide kind of basic help, sort of tutoring, homework help for kind of the introductory level classes, so introduction to psychology, the intro to stats class, the research methods class, the computer applications class. We're also willing to try to help with other classes too, as kind of different students, of course, have different expertise and different knowledge. But in addition to help with classwork, we also make sure all the peer mentors are kind of up to speed on basic psychology graduation requirements, and so they can advise students about what courses are needed for graduation, how many units, kind of give them some strategies on how to order courses so they are most beneficial. The peer mentors are also have been kind of trained to talk a little bit about grad school options for psychology. Psychology is kind of unique in that, when you have an undergraduate degree with psychology, often students are kind of like, what's next? And there's lots of different paths that can be taken, and so our peer mentors talk to students about grad school options ranging from becoming a therapist, counselor, a school psychologist, going into more research-oriented programs. Some of our students end up going towards social work, or public health, some other things too, and so peer mentors are kind of prepared to talk to students about the whole array of grad school options. And then peer mentors also sometimes are just people who know their way around, and so new transfer students or freshman students might just come by the office and ask basic questions. Where's the psych office? Where's the advisement office? Where do I find this professor, these lecturers?
They initially offer guidance.
Yeah, just
something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And how are these students selected?
They apply. So there's a pretty simple application process, but they apply, they express their interest. Typically, as long as their GPA is good and they're interested and invested, we tend to take them on. And very rarely do we turn someone away who wants to help, because it's great that people want to help.
Right.
And they also have to be available for weekly meetings, and so we meet almost every week. And during that meetings, when we kind of organize and bond and make plans. And then importantly, I didn't say yet, in addition to all those other things peer mentors do, we also do outreach. And so they're in teams for high school outreach and community college outreach. And so peer mentors will go out to several high schools and several community colleges during the semester and introduce psychology and Cal State Fullerton to students at those places too. And it's kind of it's very much just a service, because particularly high school students and community college students may not really know what a 4-year degree in psychology entails, what you can do with it, and so we take that information out into the community that way, kind of as a service to the community.
Okay, so is it an extracurricular activity that they do, or is this considered a class worth units?
Yeah, it's considered a class worth units.
Okay.
There's 496 units, which are the student-to-student tutorial units.
Okay.
But students can actually only use 3 units total towards graduation,
Okay.
towards university electives.
Right.
But many of our students will be a peer mentor 2-3 semesters, earn many more units than that, but they can really only count 3 of them. So it ends up being, for many people, truly volunteer beyond those first 3 units.
But the majority of the peer mentors are, you said, juniors and seniors,
Yes,
right?
the majority of them.
Okay. And how long have you been the advisor for them?
I have been the advisor, gosh, I don't know. I think it's 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. They actually suspended the program back during those furlough years a few years back. But I really thought that the program was really important, and so I asked our chair to reinstate it, and our chair, Dr. Mearns, agreed that it was a very important program, and it's been back now for the last 2 years.
And what's the difference between the peer mentor program and tutoring students versus, going to the University Learning Center and getting tutored by a student there?
That's a good question. I mean, our tutoring we really shouldn't call tutoring probably.
Okay.
It's really meant to be, you have 2 quick questions about your homework. We don't necessarily teach, often tutoring is kind of like they start at the beginning and go over an entire chapter, an entire section, and really try to bring a student, teach a student what a student may not have learned the first time in class. I actually think some of our peer mentors are doing that because they're generous and helpful people. But we're really meant to be more kind of homework help. And so you've got 80% of it, but you're just not sure how to answer this or what this means, kind of more clarification. And so students who really need tutoring, who they want someone to go through it all with them, we would encourage them to use the University Tutoring Center.
Okay.
But they're always welcome to kind of stop by, and I've been telling my peer mentors, if you have the time and you have, the office hour time to do it, feel free to help students, but also encourage students to use the other resources on campus too.
Okay. And how many students do you guys take each semester?
It varies a lot semester to semester. I think this semester we have, I want to say 11 or 12 peer mentors. Usually in the fall, it's somewhere between kind of 10 and 15, and then kind of word gets out during the fall, and then in the spring we tend to have kind of more 15 to 20, because most people will stay for a second semester, and then often, they'll tell other people about it who are excited about the idea, and more people kind of join. And then every fall we kind of start fresh for the most part again.